Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Our big focus this hour. A deadly blast has hit a Shia Mosque in Islamabad. At least 31 people have been killed as a suicide bomber triggered the blast at a Shia meeting hall around Friday prayers. Videos after the blast have shown people running around and carrying the injured in panic. An emergency has also been announced in hospitals across the city of Islamabad to deal with the situation. As per eyewitnesses, there were more than one attackers, with 2 people opening fire. No group has claimed responsibility for the blast. However, the police have blamed the TTP. The last such major attack on Shias in Pakistan came in 2024 when gunmen had attacked a large convoy of vehicles transporting Shia Muslims in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. This comes days after BLA launched a major attack on Pakistan military posts. The situation is worsening in Pakistan day by day, but minorities continue to face such attacks. Major General G.D. Dwivedi, strategic defense expert, is joining us live on the broadcast. Major General Dwivedi, this of course is a very shocking incident coming in from Pakistan. Do you believe the TTP is responsible? Also, what do you make of the modus operandi used?
Well, Uday, ironically, in Pakistan, the minorities have been discriminated and they have been marginalized and victimized over the period of time. And, at the time of Pakistan creation in 1947, the minorities were something like 25%. Today, they have been reduced to barely 3 and 4%. So therefore, there have been, repeated attacks on minorities in one form or the other. And Shias have been specially targeted, So also Ahmadiyas and, even Mohajis. The point is that these ethnic attacks on minorities are orchestrated as a possibly the conflict between the majority Sunnis and minority Shias. This is ongoing ethnic conflict. And unfortunately, no concrete action has been taken by the security forces in Pakistan. Rather, they abet such attacks and that's why these attacks are carried out with impunity. Second point is the law and order in Pakistan is dismal, at least you can say, and therefore these attacks are off and on undertaken, and you rightly said even last year there was a massive attack. Now this particular attack is on the Shia Mosque. It happens on Friday when the Friday prayers are actually in progress, and these could be orchestrated by the security forces themselves because they want to bring in a divide between the different ethnic groups, or it could be any other group per se. But my point I want to try to make is that Pakistan is a nation which follows terrorism as a state policy. They use proxies one against the other. Like right now in Taliban Pakistan, they're using the LATs and Jaish-like groups against them, and so also against the Balochistan Liberation Army. So the point is that today Pakistan is actually facing and tasting their own medicine because it's a state which foments terrorism, is a state which uses terrorists as a proxy war against the neighbors. And today, these terrorists and these organizations actually are causing more harm inside than the outside. So all I can say is that very difficult to say which group has done it, but it is very fundamentally evident that minorities are being targeted repeatedly over a period of time, and they are facing the brunt of Pakistan's failed policies and also discrimination against the minority groups. Uday.
More breaking news, in fact, also coming in now. Victims have blamed Asim Munir and Shehbaz Sharif. Let's listen into what 2 family members said after these attacks.
होने के बाद कोई ज़ख्मी होने के बाद वो यहाँ पर अपनी बड़ा को किरदार को उजागर करने के लिए यहाँ पाया। तुम्हारा कोई किरदार नहीं है, तुम्हारा कोई वो नहीं है, तुम यहाँ पे अपने आप को आवाम के दरमियान में हम अच्छे हैं के निकल आए। तुम अच्छे नहीं है, तुम अच्छे होते तो ये बम धमाका इमाम बारगाह के अंदर नहीं होता, ये बम धमाका मस्जिदों के दरमियान नहीं होते। तुम किस चीज़ की सिक्योरिटी पे है? तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए इमाम बारगाह में जुमा होते हैं, जुमा से पहले तुम्हारा सिक्योरिटी यहाँ पे मौजूद होना चाहिए था, तुम्हारा सिक्योरिटी यहाँ पे कोई मौजूद नहीं था। मैं बाकायदा तौर पर हुकूमत पाकिस्तान ये हुकूमत नहीं है। ये हुकूमत होता तो आज पाकिस्तान की आवाम की जो है ना ये मुहाफिज होते हैं। ये आवाम की मुहाफिज नहीं है। ये आवाम को मारवाने के लिए आवाम के ऊपर।
Ambassador Sushil Singhal, a former diplomat, is live with us on this big story. Ambassador Singhal, family members coming out blaming Munir and Sharif, emotional family members speaking after this attack. What do you make of what they've said?
Well, this is, it's clearly showing their frustration with the state of affairs in Pakistan. The government of Pakistan and army trying to create a narrative that they have things under control. And it clearly shows, this is attack which has happened. It's happened in the capital city, and this is not the first attack. This is the, in last 1 or 2 years, I would say the second attack which has taken place. So, and apart from other incidents where a lot of people have lost their life. So it clearly shows the repressive policies of the government or the military, the forces particularly, or Asif Munir, if we name it, are not successful. Though they keep trying to show that things are under their control, but it clearly shows the way things are happening. Economic conditions are bad. Can you imagine a prime minister of a country saying that we are going with a begging bowl with the army chief, and we have to do things which we don't want to do. So it shows the level to which the Pakistan has gone down. Minorities are being targeted because they have become very easy target in this kind of situation, which is happening at this moment, be it in Balochistan, be it in Pakhtunistan, or any other area. Now the Shias are being also targeted. Though the government, of course, is still in denial. They don't want to admit the failure. Asif Munir, because I'm sure right now they're saying TTP, then tomorrow, of course, there's no evidence of that fact. That who is responsible, because as far as I know, no group has claimed the responsibility. But the frustration of the people because of the economic condition and also law and order, which is breaking down virtually in Pakistan, is showing in the, is showing that the victim's family, or what they are showing is the frustration which they have with the state, because state has completely failed, I think, in its responsibility there. And this is what they were showing. And unless the government of Pakistan, and by extension, the defense forces or Asif Munir are able to take the corrective action and get their act together, provide to the people what is required, that is employment, food, and security, which is the basic responsibility of the government. There will be further problems, and maybe what Imran Khan is saying, or his party is saying, may turn out to be true. So it's a lesson, I think, to them to wake up.
Okay, let me in fact take that to you as well, Amar Mustikhan, on what you make of this this attack. The group you feel is behind it. Do you believe the TTP is perhaps behind it? And what the intention was, the modus operandi used, the messaging of it happening on Friday prayers, obviously perhaps designed to attack Shias, given the location of where it happened. What do you make of this blast, Amar Mustikhan?
Yeah, thank you so much. Namaskar. Pakistan has sectarianism in its genetic composition. It's an unfortunate country which was born out of Hindu hatred. This general, you remember last year, April 16, he came up with this nonsensical, the British imperialist ideas of two-nation theory again. So, you see, when I was in Pakistan many years ago, I read on the walls over there that the Shias are the best infidels in the world. This is what the other group wrote about the Shias. They have been persecuting their own people in Punjab, where this has happened. You know that it was one of the worst places for sectarian riots in 1947, when the Punjabi Muslims, which is who are the root cause of all the problems in South Asia. This is the Punjabi Muslim jihadi mindset. They were the ones who slaughtered their own Sikh Punjabis. They are the ones who slaughtered their own Hindus and forced them out of their ancestral homelands in Rawalpindi and all that area. So this was the genetic composition of Pakistan. And they have gone after the Ahmadis, who were a small minority sect. They declared them non-Muslim. They demolished their places of worship. They are not even allowed to call the places of worship as mosques. What nonsense. They have been going after tiny little Hindu girls in the length and breadth of Pakistan, forcing them against their wishes, kidnapping them and converting them. This Pakistan is a state that is withering away. We hope its demise will go unsung and unwept. They have unleashed a war against my people in Balochistan. Please, I request all the Indian analysts and the policy makers not to call Balochistan an internal matter of Pakistan. We were never internal to Pakistan. And our freedom struggle, as you may know, it has now reached a very crucial point. And we are not seeing the responsibility that India should show as the world's largest democracy to speak about what's happening in Balochistan. This Pakistan state, it is the military. The military is to blame for what is happening in Pakistan. You see, in Karachi alone, they had killed thousands of Shia doctors, I came to know recently. In Quetta, they have been doing, in Balochistan, they have been killing. The Shia massacre has been happening since 2008. One of the Shia leaders, when he went to the funeral, he said, I am not going to blame any organization. He pointed out to the Quetta military cantonment, and he said the killers are here. Similarly, in Islamabad, in this Imam Barga massacre, I hope the people will point out to the GHQ and the APARA headquarters in Islamabad that the killers are here, because it is their policies that has left this country into ruins. What a joke this country has become. World Economic Forum, only general present was Asim Munir. What nonsense it is. Thank you, Uday.
Yes, let me in fact quickly take that back to you as well, Major Dwivedi. On, of course, now the target clearly being the Shia population, and this is something that we've seen in Pakistan earlier too, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Now, if the TTP is behind it, then how dangerous is this for the Shia community, and what do you expect the Pakistani state to do, if anything, to protect them? We've seen how they've left the Pashtuns and the Baluchis to fend for themselves. Will there be someone who will fend for the Shia people of Pakistan?
First and foremost, Uday, I don't think the TTP is behind it. This is orchestrated by the radical elements who are against the minorities, and they have some kind of shadow cover or tacit support from the armed forces. So I don't blame, or I won't finger point at the TTP as such. The second point is that it is a policy of the state to only ensure that the Punjabi Muslims are the ones who actually identify or define Pakistan. The others are actually, as Amar Khan Saab said, that others are actually non-Muslims. They are not even identified as Muslims. They say the Ahmadiyas, Majis, and Shias, they are actually infidels. So therefore, there is an ethnic cleansing that is going on in Pakistan with the full support of the security forces, because as from your clip also it is evident that the aggrieved person was saying that they have no security. And the Friday prayers are actually the targets by these radical elements. So I don't think that this is orchestrated by any other group, but by the Pakistan radical elements with the full support of the security forces. And second point, I like to further reinforce on the Balochistan. See, Balochistan has been marginalized, victimized, and there have been kind of genocide that is going on. This is, piece of territory which is 44% of Pakistan, and they have been not beneficiary of any development. Today they are the poorest state in Pakistan, and Pakistan army has been causing not only genocide but also cleansing of the complete region, and inviting the foreign powers like China to exploit this. And they are, Asim Munir was trying to sell the minerals to President Trump during one of the luncheon meeting. So all I can say is that Pakistan as a state is actually heading toward the doom. There's no law and order in sight. Pakistan is the only organization which is ruling the country, and they have been only massacring people just to ensure that they survive. But the Pakistan ultimately, I think, will become extinct because Pakistan army is solely responsible for the current state of affairs. Uday.
Yes, appreciate you joining us. Okay, let me, in fact, before we take a break, quickly get back in another perspective from Ambassador Singhal. Ambassador Singhal, quickly coming back now across to you at this point, the victims, of course, are very, very upset, as I was telling you earlier. Now, the danger, of course, will be if the Shia community feels deliberately targeted in all of this. That can lead to further sectarian violence in Pakistan as well. We've seen how Pakistan is imploding, in Balochistan, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, in other parts of the country. And now if this sectarian violence does indeed start, what does that spell ahead for Pakistan?
Well, this will be a disaster for Pakistan in one word, because up till now, what was happening? They were targeting the targets were very soft ones. The Hindu, just like as one of the co-panelists mentioned about the Hindus, Christians, and Baluch. Pakistan Defense Minister himself admitted that the Balochistan is 40% of their area. But when you look at the investments or the resources which is being state resources which are being spent, there is not commensurate with that. Only the attempt is being made is to take the resources out of them, and and that is the whole issue there. And they don't want to be, they don't consider them to be a partner. They don't consider equal. And as the Major General mentioned about the Punjab province dominance, the army is dominated by the Punjab, people from Punjab, and they feel they are better, and they're mostly Sunnis. So now the target being made, I don't know who has done it. Of course, there are going to be speculation unless and until a group either takes the responsibility or state is able to come out with the evidence, which very unlikely that they are not. I don't think they have been a really investigation and they were able to come out. So unless a group takes a responsibility, very difficult who did it, which group did it, and of course, Major General also mentioned that is possibility that somebody from the state side might have done it. I mean, we don't know really what is really happening because it happened in Islamabad. Is very surprising. But if the Shia community, which is the major community there, is being targeted in this manner, naturally they will also take their defensive measures. Whatever they will be, I don't know. But they will also take defensive measures. So then there will be a sectarian. Already that is in Pakistan is imploded, be it in Balochistan, be it in Pakhtunistan. Now this fight, if I can use the word, is coming to the interior of the heartland of Pakistan, as they consider in Punjab itself it is coming. So it will have a very wide implication for the Pakistani economy, because I'm stressing all the time on the economy because economy is really, really suffering out there. And of course, the security is going to be, because the Pakistani, in Pakistan, as we all know, is the General Asif Munir, the Field Marshal Asif Munir is the one who is really running the show. And civilian government doesn't have much say. So he cannot escape the responsibility. So this so far, the defense forces or the military there was showing that, they are the savior of Pakistan. I think their image is going to be dented. And once this image is dented, I think that they will have a further more problems in Pakistan. I hope they are able to resolve that. But the way the blame shifting is going on there, nobody is willing to take the responsibility for what is happening. Because unless you admit there is a problem, there cannot be any solution. At this stage, nobody in Pakistan want to take the responsibility for the state of affairs they are in. Everybody is just, washing their hands off. So, future at this moment looks pretty bleak to me for Pakistan. I hope I'm wrong, but looks like it's a very, very difficult situation coming in Pakistan. Uday.
Yes, indeed. Let me, in fact, quickly, go back to Amara Mustika now for a last word before we take a break on what this means going forward for Pakistan's implosion. It seems that Pakistan is not serious about law and order, is not serious about security, which is why this situation continues and the plight of their residents continues. They are of course, blaming Asim Munir for it. They're blaming Shehbaz Sharif for it. But will anyone listen to their woes? Amar Mustika.
See, the main culprit, of course, is Asim Munir. Shehbaz Sharif is just the tamed monkey. The street juggler, as I've always said, is Asim Munir. And how can you run a country of 255 million by just one person? He thinks he is also an intellectual. He thinks he is a wordsmith. All these terminology like Fitna al-Hindustan, Fitna al-Khawarij, this is personally Asim Munir's own words. It's not by any other person. These two terminologies that you hear quite often, it is by General Asim Munir. Enough is enough. Our land, Uday, please, we are never a part of Pakistan. We don't like the idea of Pakistan, of two-nation theory and all that nonsense. We have never been, you see, in their power structure. They have already ruled, they have always ruled over us as if we were a colony. Our people have now risen in Balochistan. 44% of the landmass of Balochistan will hopefully secede from Pakistan very soon. We hope we are going to have the best relations with our neighbors, including the largest democracy on earth, Mother India. I appreciate your time, sir. Thank you.
All right. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this discussion. We're slipping into a very short break. Much more coming up.